तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ Next stop, Mundakopanishad. And in fact, it doesn't look like the next stop at all. It looks like a different version of the same stop. Why? Because the exact same sentiments, 2 verses 1, is also given here. Very interesting. There it was in the sense of 2 people going into a cave and drinking, searching for happiness through their drinking. Here it is what? Birds. 2 birds. Samane vrikshe parishasva jate. They're embracing on the same tree. Dva suparna sayuja sakhaya. Sayujau sakhaya. Dva suparna. 2 birds with shining wings, greatest of friends, embracing on the same tree. But there is a difference. Tayoho ekaha, out of the 2, one of them, pippalam swadu atti. Swadu pippalam atti. Atti means eats. Tayoho ekaha. Out of the 2 of them, one of them eats tasty berries. Eats tasty berries means it's a euphemism. Some of the berries are very, very bitter, very, very sad. But it is in search of the sweet berries, tasty berries. That is its own whole life is tasty berries. Prayogo ekaha pippalam swadu atti. One of them is keeping on searching and eating tasty berries. Anashnan anyaha, the other one, anashnan, without eating. What is it doing? Abhichakashiti. Keeps on looking. In fact, the root verb here is chakastra deepta, which shines the light on the eating one without partaking anything. This is again a very cryptic metaphor, but now that we have decoded the other allegory, this has become very easy. Who is the bird in search of berries? Jiva. Who is Jiva? The complaining one. Okay, that's the best definition of Jiva, the one who complains. When? Constantly. The constant complainer, full of pet peeves, Piva, Jiva. And who is the other one that is simply looking on? Ishvara. How many birds are there? If you say 2, then we have a problem. How many birds are there? 1. Chaya Kapoor, shadow. Shadow that has gone rogue. This is what it is. No 2 birds. You can't say one is Jiva bird, one is Ishvara bird, and now Jivatma bird has to become one with Paramatma bird. That's bird brain talk, okay? Yes. That's not correct. There is no Jivatma, there is no Paramatma, there is only Atma. When it complains, when I complain, I am called Jiva. That same Atma, when it is in repose by itself, it is called Paramatma. When it is free of complaint, that same Atma is called Paramatma. It's different things. And this is a very beautiful way of, this is a very beautiful pedagogy of showing as though there are two, but then ultimately resolving these two into what? One. Resolving the two into one. It's as though two, but really what? So therefore, this is something which is very, very important to understand. The two is an experiential reality. It's a truth, but it's an experiential truth. But everything that is experienced is not real. You experience the sunset, but is the sun really setting into the Pacific Ocean? No. I never give example of sunrise because most people are not awake. They say we never experience sunrise. Why are you talking to us about that? Sunset, we are safe. So, sunset, we experience, but it is not real. Blue sky we experience, but it is not blue at all. So, the atmospheric, whatever, an apparent color, neither is the blue sky blue, nor is the water blue. The ocean is so blue. You go to the Mediterranean and say, oh, blue ocean. In fact, there is already a color. What is that color called? Mediterranean blue. But the Mediterranean is not blue. This is all just to understand that whatever one experiences may not be real. And therefore, the complaining I, even though it appears to be different, is not different. Even though it appears to be real, is not real. Because that which is real is free of complaints. Why? Because it is limitless. That which is real is called Sat, and Sat is limitless. This limitless Sat is myself alone, and therefore it is not experiencing any pain, any sorrow. So we cannot say it is Jiva. There is no such thing as Jiva ultimately. All that is there is one unending, limitless consciousness, which is I. When it wears the crown, we say Ishvara. Oh, same consciousness. When it complains, we say, okay, guess who's bad? Jiva. Most of the time in Jiva mode, very little time in Ishvara mode. This is how the life proceeds. It has to flip. We have to do the headstand of that. Most of the time, Ishvara mode. And then, by mistake, by default, maybe once or twice in Jiva. This is what is the phala, the fruit of Pramana Vicha. So the bird that is addicted to the berries are karma phala. And the fact that it's going in search of the berries, it's creating more karma phala, more karma phala. Therefore, it is tired, it is unending, attached to the tree. And the second verse goes like this in this mantra. Samane vrikshe purusho nimagnaha adeshaya shochati mustyamanaha. In the same way, in this vriksha, the body, mind, sense complex, this is the vriksha, or the jagat is the vriksha. The jagat is the tree, or this body itself can be a tree. The Purushaha, the person. Who is the Purushaha? Ishvara. Sarvan Prayati iti Purushaha. This Purusha has somehow become the second derivation of the word Purusha. That which fills up this body, that which abides in this body. Purusha. So this Purusha, Nimagnaha, glug, means drowning. Drowning. Shochati. Drown in the tears of his or her own sorrow. Shojati grieves. How? Muhyamanah due to delusion. Delusion of what? Ascertainment of the truth of oneself as Ishvara. That is the delusion. The non-ascertainment of the truth is the delusion. The ascertainment is the clarity. And so, therefore, has to, therefore, thinks itself consigned to a life of grief and pain and sorrow. Jushtam yada, when this jiva understands I'm nothing other than Ishvara, then the jiva partakes, this is what the Upanishad says, partakes of Ishvara's glory. Vitashokaha bhavati, becomes freed of sorrow. You see how small adjustment has to be made in the teaching, in the imbibing of the teaching, in the receiving of the teaching. When I receive the teaching, I can see that. I can see that there are two modes in my life, the contented mode and the discontented mode. Not only there is a contented mode and a discontented mode, there is also an element of choice. Which mode shall I abide in right now? That is choice. No, it happens without choice. Because if I really had the choice, who would have been? Do you think I would be sad? I don't have the choice. That's why I'm sad. You do have the choice, but you don't think you have the choice. Why? Because the belief that the wrong belief, the wrong understanding, the habitual orientation that I am a discontented, complaining person and my hopeless, helpless, hapless life will never change is a strong belief system. It's a notion that needs erosion and it is not easily dispatched. Why? Because I actively keep burning those fires. What am I getting out of thinking that I am a miserable person? What am I getting? One would say I'm not getting anything, but no, I am getting something. A few people notice and say, poor thing, what happened today? Oh, my life is terrible. But you have to keep making new friends because the ones you made before will say, here comes, let's just wait. They see you and duck under a bush. Okay. So if one is like that, you have to keep making new friends. You have to keep making new friends. You have to keep going here, going there, everything, because misery loves company. So one thing, you get a few people saying, oh, poor thing, terrible, this is awful. Especially when one complains all the time. I mean, I'm not talking of some genuine reason for the complaint. When one has made a habit of complaining, then what do you say? Oh, you poor thing, somebody will say. Then there's also another benefit, if you can believe it, to this constantly sad, complaining individual. To be in this mode is beneficial, some people think, because you meet other people who are also like that. Then the radar is out, the antenna is out. And a sad person recognizes another complaining person very quickly. What's your number? We should get together. Yes, the whole world is terrible. The whole world sucks. And therefore, what? We should talk about this more. Look at these. Look at some of the things happening. Look at this war here. Look at this over there. Look at that over there. Look at this over here. Look at these people over here. Look at those people over there. We have a lot to talk about. Let me text you right now. And I'm sitting in front of you. Doesn't matter. I have a lot to say. I'm talking through my mouth. I'm also talking with my hands. So I'm going to text you with my hands and I'm going to do this. Misery loves company. Complaints also love company because if you're complaining by yourself, you think you're crazy, right? But if few other people also join, oh, you become very righteous and indignant. Yes, we have a cause. Why? Just because. Okay, so I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to go here, I have to do that. I have a huge cause. Chip on the shoulder. And that is another reason why it is very difficult to shut off the Jiva mode. Even though I know I have to turn it off, even though I know I don't like living this, even though I know it is not good for me, it is toxic, I have to come out of this. I know this. Something keeps me in it. And what is that something? Some kind of a instant gratification. I feel happy meeting other complaining people. Skewed logic, but go figure. This is how it is. Okay? But that's again because of the insecurity. But then here the Upanishad, the Mundaka Upanishad says, the moment you turn off this Jiva mode, at least temporarily suspend it. Jiva mode means full of complaints, full of subjectivity, full of wrong notions, full of why me, all these. And so this is the whole idea. The complaints, I know I can stop the complaints, but then what do I feel? I feel I am very much in danger. When I stop complaining, what will happen? It could be nobody will pay attention to me. In fact, they will think I'm a doormat and walk all over me. I have to make my complaints heard. I have to say why me at least 10 times a day. Otherwise, I have to feel sorry for myself because this is what is needed in the real world. Actually, guess what? This real world is what? Mithya. Unreal world. Yeah. It's not real at all. Excuse. We tell ourselves to be in the misery mode, in the jiva complaining mode. Here the Upanishad says all it takes is a flip of a switch. Have the sankalpa, Upanishad says. The Mundaka Upanishad says, have the sankalpa to abide in this sat that is you. But what is this? How do we get to this sat? Where next stop in the moksha express is what? Chandogya Upanishad, the sixth chapter. The opening words describe what is this. Sadeva Somya Idamagre Asid Ekameva Dvitiyam Vacharumanam Vikaro Namadheyam Mrittika Ityeva Satyam Ekena Mritpindena Sarvan Mrinmayam Vijnatam Syat Iti. Beautiful. Describes what is Sat as told to a 20-year-old. That's the best explanation because that means it will be very, very, very clear. Told by who? Told by the father to the son. Son goes to university, comes back insufferably proud. Parents are concerned, they look at each other, what's happened? Did we raise this fellow? He was sent to Gurukula at 12, he came back at 24. 12 years of study have made him like this. Terrible. We need to have a talk with him. They straight to play the game. Straight doesn't hear why he's got noise cancelling headphones on. Parents are the noise, okay, that he wants to cancel. Very loudly they call him. Finally, he hears, what? Did you ask for that knowledge, knowing which everything is as well known? And he says, that what are you talking about? I was the best student there. I had a 4.0. What is 4.0? GPA. And my teachers must not have known this knowledge, knowing one thing, something else is known. How is this possible? This is not possible at all. And so therefore what? Teachers also are ignorant. They did not. And then the teacher, father turned teacher asks again. When the Upanishad repeats herself, we know we are in trouble because that is how she scolds us. Meaning you didn't hear me the first time. Did you ask for that knowledge? Then Shvetaketu comes down and says, okay, is there such a knowledge? Yes, there is such a knowledge. And what is this knowledge? That there is only one thing and one thing to know. Because see, if you know one thing, you can't. How is it possible? If I know these kind of classes, I don't even know the other pairs of classes in this room, much less all other things in the world. Each thing is different from another thing. How can I know this? Knowing one thing, how can you know everything else? Except when that one thing has a particular relationship to all these other things. And what is that relationship? Karya Karana Sambandha. So in this Chandogya talk of the Moksha Express, we will be analyzing this particular pedagogical, what is that called? Tool called cause effect pedagogy or cause effect methodology. Sat eva asit. All that was here was that you see as the Jagat was what? Sat. This Jagat, this manifest universe was nothing but Sat. Now it is Vyakrita, differentiated. Before it was Avyakrita and differentiated. Differentiated now because so many things. Even the physicists call it as the expanding universe. New discoveries being made every single day. First we had Hubble telescope. Now it is hobbling somewhere. Now we have its grandfather, what is that? James Webb telescope. And that one sees through many things which you never even knew. All kinds of discoveries are being made. Perhaps in the next generation, there will be even bigger one. Like this, it's an expanding universe where new things are being discovered every single day. So this universe was, is, and will continue to be nothing but Sat. Now it is a differentiated Sat. Before it was what? Undifferentiated Sat. So what is everything in the universe? Not fair, because even after telling the answer, it doesn't come. What is everything in the universe? Sat. Okay, Abba. All right. So everything is Sat. But it's very inconvenient to lead the life by saying, can you please hand me that Sat? That Sat, this Sat. Can you call the Sat who is in the other room? No, not that Sat. Another Sat. And then if you have children, Sat 1, Sat 2, Sat 3, yes. Very difficult. Okay, it's very useless for transaction. Calling everything as Sat. What is this Sat? Sat means the existent one. That's all it means. So the existent one, hey, you existent one, please come here. How do you call? You can't call. So therefore, you need language. And the language has, especially the Sanskrit language, has what? Singular, dual, dual, and then multiple, plural, because there are many of the same things. Many, many things are there. Not one thing. Many, many things are there. Duplicates, triplicates, so many things. And so everything needs a name. And that name is dependent upon the tongue. Pout is a word with a meaning. Given to what? Ayyo. What is the whole Jagat? Pot is a word and a meaning given to table, a word and meaning belonging to Sat, an iteration, as so to speak, of Sat, an expression, so to speak, of this Sat. So the whole world of objects is what? Sat, 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 Sat. Word and meaning, word and meaning, word and meaning, different words, different meanings, new objects, new words, new meanings, new things discovered, many more new things, new words, new objects, new meanings. But really speaking, the truth of all of them is what? They are existent. They exist. They exist? Question mark? What do you mean they exist? They all are existent because Sat is they are. Now you can bring in your clay. What relies on what for its existence? Clay. Now don't say something. Clay. Clay. What clay? See, how many earthenware? The whole world of earthenware, if you want to know, you don't have to do PhD on part number one, part number three. You have to do the PhD on what? Clay. You have to study clay, you don't study the parts. You don't study each and every part, it's not needed. You go to the source from which all parts have come. And so, so too, the source of this Jagat, so too, the source of this Jagat, which includes my body, my mind, excuse my senses, is all what? Thank God nobody said clear. Thank God you kept quiet, even if you didn't know the answer, but did not say clear. All this Sat becomes equipped with a causality. It becomes the cause of the existence of everything else. This is what our Shvetu is told. This is what he's told. There's only one source of existence, and all other existences, if I say pot is, that isness doesn't belong to the pot. Relatively speaking, we say isness belongs to clay, but that isness doesn't belong to clay. What is the truth of the clay? Particles, molecules, isness, now it's a shifting isness. What is clay, is molecule, is particle, is. The is in many names and many forms. That is what it is. And he gives 3 examples of Dharaka to assimilate. That's how we get the pot clay example. One is pot. Ekena mritpindena sarvam mridmayam vijnatam syat. By studying one lump of clay, the whole earthenware is understood as belonging to clay, sustained by clay, coming forth from clay, going back to clay, 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 all the way. So similarly, Sat, 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 all the way. And Shvetaketu is very hooked now. He says, please tell me this again, tell me this again. He needs 9 sessions before he understands fully. 9 classes. And so in the second time, the teacher gives One more example. Gold and ornament. Gold and ornament. Million ornaments. How many golds? One gold. Ekameva advitiyam, non-dually one. All that there is gold. One gold. Many ornaments. And so even if the ornaments had human minds, if the nose stud said, I am so small, I am only half a gram, whereas the chain is 20 grams of gold. I am small, the chain is big, and I am a nobody. Don't think the chain is not having any problems. The chain is also having its own problems. This woman is a hypochondriac. She's always dressed in panchakosha, for 5 layers all the time. What is wrong with that? How? Why? This is the problem. And the chain will say, I have such a pretty chain, nobody can see me. I'm jealous of the nose stud. First thing when they look at her face, they see the nose stud. I too am pretty. I too want to be seen. The nose stud is jealous. This woman gives me a shock each time during allergy season. She keeps sneezing and I feel like my prana is going. Each time. I'm afraid for my life. Look at the chain, so happy it is. So if there is a human mind, one won't know. It's the same stuff. No different. And therefore, this ignorance is the cause of sorrow, anger, fear, all these things. Has to be understood. He gives the second example. This Sat is the cause of everything. In order to be a cause, it has to lend its existence to everything. Just like the wheat lends its existence to various forms of eatables. You can have chapatis, or you can have naan, or you can have pasta, you can have pizza, or if you're really hungry, you can eat it just like that. So in America, they do that. Cookie dough, you know. It's not cookie yet, it's just the atta of the cookie that they will eat. Okay? Don't know why. Don't know what it's about. I'll have to find out. I'll have to ask somebody what this cooking dough business is. But this is the problem. And we don't know that it's all one. And we say Sat, this Sat, that Sat, that Sat, which is the truth of you, O Shvetaketu, that Sat, Sa Atma, Shvetaketu Tvamasi, Tattvamasi. That Sat, which is the cause of the universe, is nothing other than I am not like the bot. I too can be a piece of this Sat. I can also be a part of this Sat. Maybe I am like the bot, which is a little piece of the clay. Then that means what? Then I shouldn't even be asking the question, how come I'm Sat? The fact that I can ask, how come I'm Sat, shows that this Sat is not inert. What's the opposite of inert? Earth. Sentient, alive. This Sat is not a dead Sat, it is a live Sat. It is very much here because, and I am that Sat, how can I say? Can the pot say it is Sat? Pot is also Sat. Can the rock say it is Sat? If you have to think for so long, can the rock say it is that? Can the pot say it is that? Can the table say it is that? No. But I can say I'm Sat. It means what? This existence is a conscious existence. Conscious. I am conscious of my existence. Nothing in the universe can say that. You are unlike anything in the universe. Nothing is like you. You are unique, you are special, you are one, not even of a kind, you are one. You're the only one that stands out. Real. Tat Sat Sa Atma Eto Tvamasi. This is what it is. That Sat is sentient. Because why? I know I am. If I can say I am, there is already, along with Sat, I am bringing in Jnana Chit. Sat and Chit go together. Chit is Sat, Sat is Chit. This is what it is. It is Jnana. It is Chit. Next talk, Keno Parishit. Keneshitam Preshitam Patati Manah. Kena Prana Prayukta. Keneshitam Vacham Imam Vadanti. Chakshushotram Kahudevo Yunakti. A very advanced student asks in the Kenopanishad an important question. What is the question? Willed by whom, impelled by whom, the thoughts fall in the mind. In fact, we don't have thought, can you predict the next thought? So, therefore, somebody else is in charge of the thoughts that fall in the mind. How does the eye see? You can't see the organ called the eye see because even the dead person has the eyes. If the dead person's eyes do not see, my eyes see. What is that? What is that that makes the eyes see? What is that that makes the ears hear? What is that that makes the mind know? And the teacher gives a brilliant answer. Shrotrasya shrotram, chakshusha chakshuhu, vajoha vacham, sabupranasya pranah. It is not the eye that sees, it's the eye of the eye that sees, it's the ear of the ear that hears. What is this eye of the eye? What is this ear of the ear? Eye of the eye means that because of whose sentient presence the eyes do what they need to do. What is that? Chit. Sentience. My eyes see because I am a sentient being. The sentience is lent to the eyes. The existence is also lent to the eyes. And the combined operation, so to speak, the combined presence of the existence and the sentience enable this organ to see. Then we ask an important question. It's a very important question, How do I know that I am sentient? When I say I am, what am I saying? I know I am. I know I am. That's how I know. It's an undeniable knowledge. It is already there for me. And I know that I am sentient. And this knowledge alone, we have to see that here is how we see. Here is how we understand. Very beautiful it is. And that which is sentient, and that which is conscious, that which is existence, cannot be finite. Because if it's a finite existence, and if it's a finite sentience, then I'll be happy for a finite amount of time. Then the Upanishads are of no use. So therefore, we say the last word after Sat and Chit are what? Next stop, like the real Upanishad, where this Anand, the most obscure word in the Vedanta Shastra, is analyzed very, very beautifully. So many Anandas, so little time. Yesterday we had ice cream Ananda, and what other Ananda is there? Ashram Ananda, ice cream Ananda, this Ananda, that Ananda. So many Anandas. But no, I want Brahmananda. What is Brahmananda? Unless it's the name of a Swami, it is very, very elusive. Brahmananda, it seems so elusive. I know ice cream Ananda, I know this Ananda, I know that Ananda. And but I don't know this Brahmananda. And people will say so many things about this. They will say, yeah, it is to be experienced. It cannot be talked about it. In fact, those no one Swami came to Rishikesh to our ashram. Since he was a guest speaker, we just gave him a mic and said, out of respect, please share a few thoughts. He said, you think you can know Brahman? Not at all. Those don't talk. Those talk don't know. Then he proceeded to talk for 2.5 hours. In fact, Brahman alone is the only thing that can be this Ananda, which is Brahman, is the only thing that can be communicated fully. You can't even communicate it, a simple thing. Sweet. What is sweet? That. You just have to click your tongue to explain it. What is sweet? You cannot explain. What is jealousy? Explain. What is Brahman? I can fully, completely, 100% explain. Why? Because it is you. And you are sitting right in front of me. That is why I can completely and fully explain. This is how the whole thing is. Why I can fully explain? Because there is no doubt that you exist. Is there a doubt that you are sentient? If there is, pinch yourself. If you say, oh, that means you are sentient. There's no doubt that you are sentient. There's no doubt that you are present. There's no doubt that you are existent. But the nature of this existence is in doubt. Why? Because just like the two jivas, one jiva happy and one complaining, the other jiva sad and complaining, we seem to have in our imagination two kinds of ananda. One ananda, Brahmananda, only a few rare sadhus can get it. Rare people somewhere, it's an experience. And one person scared me because they described this experience like this. They said there is something dripping from the inside the top of the head coming to the back of the tongue. And it's very tasty. And I am sitting drinking this. This is the. I said, are you sure it is not a cerebrospinal thinking something? Please get yourself tested. Tell me this is Brahma, if I experience, one more special experience which comes and goes away, then how is it different from ice cream or at all? That was finite, this too is finite. That suddenly happened occasionally, this also occasionally happened. Suddenly. Suddenly I found myself happy because some incident took place, and then suddenly I found myself looking at Brahman, and then I was happy. This makes no sense. Just like there cannot be one happy jiva and one complaining jiva, there are no. Only one Ananda. This is described very well in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is in the third chapter dialogue between Janaka and Yajnavalkya. And Yajnavalkya tells King Janaka, it is one Ananda, unbridled Ananda, pieces of which the Jivas upajivanti, matram upajivanti. They just enjoy it in bits and pieces because every experienced Ananda is sitting on a tripod. What is that tripod? The tripod of finitude. What is this tripod of finitude? Experiencer. That is one leg of the tripod. Experiencer, who is the experiencer? Me. Subject. And then what is the second leg of the tripod? Object of experience, i.e., ice cream. And then what's the third leg of the tripod? That which brings object and subject together, which is the means of experience, such as tongue, sight, all these things. So, prameya, object, that which is to be experienced. Then, pramata, the one who is the experiencer. Bhokta, bhojya, to be experienced, prameya, bhojya, and then pramata, the means of experience. Every experience is sitting on this tripod of finitude. If I am the experiencer, then I'm separating myself from the object of experience, and then I'm dependent upon the object of experience to become one with me in order to have that oneness feeling. How long can it last? As long as the object lasts. So after that, it's gone. The experience object gone, experience also gone. So if I am the subject, I'm not the object, and I'm always longing for the object, there is a kind of a incompletion. And if I'm not the object, then I'm the subject, which is left longing for the object. And then if I am the object, then I'm not the subject, naturally. And if I'm the means of knowledge, if I identify myself as the means of knowledge, I'm neither subject nor object. Each thing is finite. Each thing is a status. The status of being an object, the status of being a subject, the status of the means of knowledge are all happening, so to speak, are all non-separate from that one Sat-Chit. That conscious existence is the Sat. That conscious existence is that Chit, which as though morphs into knower, morphs into known, morphs into means of knowledge, morphs into experiencer, object of experience, means of experience. And who is this I? Neither knower nor experiencer, nor the object, nor the subject, nor the means of experience. I am beyond this tripod. I'm not this tripod. I cannot be this one of the legs of the tripod because I want holiness. I want fullness. I want that which is forever. The only thing that which is forever is the Sat-Chit, which is free of being knower or known, or the connection between the knower and the known. It's free of all of that. Very beautiful it is. Like in the ocean, there can be big wave, knower, smaller wave, object, another wave, that which connects the subject and object. And if the big wave just thought itself as the experiencer wave, then it would be very, very sad. Very, very sad. But if the waves, if all these waves that were feeling very threatened about their existence because they were small, were told you are nothing other than this ocean. You are just a manifestation, a time bound, as it were, manifestation of the timeless ocean, of the limitless ocean. That is knowledge. Same thing, you can find this tripod in every experience. Thinker, thought, and that which connects the thinker and the thought. I am neither the thinker, nor the thought, nor the connections. Then who am I? That which blesses the thinker with the sentient, that sentient consciousness which blesses the thinker, which blesses the object of thought, and blesses the connection between the two without becoming any one of them. This is Ananda. Understanding this is Ananda, this is Ananda. Because, as I said, why did we stop at the Taittiriya Upanishad stop? Because it shows this very, very, very clear. What does it show? It says that if you look for the Ananda in the world, then there will always be a gradation. There's a section called Ananda Mimamsa. Why is it called Mimamsa? It's all about me. That's why. So Mimamsa means analysis. So an analysis of me, and then here, what is the analysis? Ananda analysis. युवास्यात् साधुयुवाध्यायकः आशिष्टो दृढिष्टो बलिष्ठः. An ideal typical unit of human happiness is established. Young man, well educated, very well behaved, calm, tranquil, sounding like son-in-law material. Yes. For prospective for prospective parents with daughters. In fact, the gentleman here, the father of the bride, is convinced, yes, he is the correct one for my daughter. The auntie is not yet convinced. The mother of the bride says, show me the money. Yeah, he could be very well behaved, but what if he is a parasite? We don't want that. Show me the money. And then the Upanishad says, Ya iyam prithvi vittasya purnasya, meaning all this of this entire earth, mineral resources, gold, oil, trees, everything, water, everything belongs to this fellow. Then mommy says, okay, no problem. This is one unit of human happiness, unattainable because it's an ideal typical unit given by the Upanishad. And then what? Then we need some Vedantic mathematics, not Vedic mathematics, that's something else. This is Vedantic mathematics, very simple. You multiply this by 100. What do you get? We get 100 units of human happiness, or 1 unit of Manushya Gandharva's happiness, which is the lowest level of celestial, lower rung celestial, barely a celestial, okay, half celestial, half Gandharva, physical celestial. Then you multiply 1 unit of this musical celestial's happiness into 100. What do you get? 1 unit of the Gandharva's happiness. Then you multiply that 1 unit of Gandharva's happiness into 100, and then you get one more. What is that? Karma Devata. Pitranam, Pitralokanam, Chiralokanam. No, first Karma Devata comes. I think Karma Devatas. Who are these Karma Devatas? Pitraloka, then Ajana, Ajana Loka, and then so many lokas are there. Ancestral lokas, this loka, then Karma Devata. Who are these Karma Devas? They who bring chai to other devatas. In fact, the chai wala in heaven is enjoying what is a trillion times more happiness than the ideal, typical fellow of earth. Then what? Then you keep on multiplying, you keep getting more happiness. It's unattainable. No. Attainable. Attainable by me, not you. By who then? By one person. If you are ready to be this person, then it's attainable by you. Okay, what do I have to be? Shrotrasya cha akamah tasya. I have to be a Shrotriya. I have to pursue this study very, very well and fully. And I have to be akamahata. Kamena Nahatara, the one who is not hijacked by nonsensical and very stubborn preferences and desires. This is what I have to do. I have to not be hijacked by the desires. Of course, then when we have questions, question and answer, people will say, what I have desires, what should I do? Should I get rid of all desires? No. Because if you have the desire to get rid of all desires, after you get rid of all desires, you will be stuck with one desire. What is that desire? I have to get rid of all desires. I have to get rid of all desires. It's about then, just like we say, anger management. This is also about desire and manage the desire so that you are the haver of it. You have the desire does not at any time have you. This is the difference. You have the desire. Desire does not have you. And so this is exactly how it grows to understand this. And it is true. When you stop wanting it, it's a very strange paradox in Vedanta and in the universe because Bhagavan has a sense of humor. You stop wanting it and then you get it. You can't pretend, okay, I really don't want it. Okay, please bring it on, but I don't want it. No, you really have to let go of it. You let go of it and then it keeps coming, keeps coming, keeps coming. This is what happened. As long as Pujya Swamiji could eat sugar, all he got was Karela preparation. Wherever he went, people made Karela. Karela. Because when he went there, there some lady made some food. Then after that, she had successfully hosted Swamiji. So they said, they all called her up. Guys, what does he like to eat? She, Karela. She had made Karela. See, he had eaten it. So wherever he went, he would have appetizer made of Karela, Karela fritters, Karela dishes, Karela dry, Karela payasam, meals, everything. Even Karela dessert. Karela is bitter gold. Bitter gold. It is very bitter to eat. Medicinally, you can eat it. It tastes good also, but it's not something to eat all the time. And people thought Swamiji liked it, and so it surrounded him. Then he made peace with it completely. He said, okay, he didn't care for the vegetable at all in the beginning. Here too, Karela. What is this? Is this some kind of a network that everybody is broadcasting? Everywhere. Here Karela, there Karela, everywhere. Karela. What? Then he said, if I cannot avoid this redoubtable Karela, I'm going to make peace with you, oh Karela. I'm going to learn to love you. I'm going to learn to like you. So he started to like it. Stopped. Yes, he stopped coming. So whatever you want, you do not get. Okay, yeah, just write it down. You will feel much better afterwards. What badly want, you will never get. Whatever you don't want, you will get two helpings of it, even without asking. Therefore, can't always do as I like. I learn to like whatever there is to do. I learn to like whatever there is to eat. I learn to eat means metaphorically. I learn to like whatever there is to take in. I be at peace. This is this is how the Ananda is in the form of a growth clarity. The Ananda is actually Ananta. Understanding Ananta that I am without limits, I am that sentient consciousness without limits, without boundaries, is really Ananda. Because that is what I want. I want to be free, I want to be boundless, I want to be independent. But I don't want any kind of limits. And so you cannot get that by trying to control the people in the universe. Because for every person that you want to control, There are 10 people who are secretly or not so secretly wanting to control you. What are you going to do? Better to manage these things. And especially when you stop hankering after Ananda, Ananda knocks at the door. Knock, knock, who is there? Ananda. Ananda, who? That you don't know is you. That is the answer. Chate, Nastya, Viva, Vashishyade, Tisha, Tihi, and that's the final stop in the Moksha Express. Now we'll open it up for some quick Q&A so that we can have some interaction. Online also, you can ask, no problem. Any questions? Yes.
Existence. Existence is intangible. And existence is tangible.
Yes.
If the existence has come from existence,
Yes.
then it is a modification of existence into existence.
As though modification.
So,
Yeah. It's not really modified. Yeah, that's because it's an object. We mistake the existent, to use your language, for existence itself. That's why there is suffering. That's why there is pain, because I take the object to be infinite. The object is not separate from that which is infinite, but the infinite is not the object. Object is infinite. Infinite cannot be the object. Infinite has is many objects, all objects, but none at the same time. That's what you have to see. It is out of it. We don't know, so that's why we mistake the object to be the infinite. And we pursue the objects at the detriment to the subject, to the pursuit of the subject.
what is existence is not.
I would say it's not real. I would say it is got a conditional, temporary, empirical reality. It's better to, if you say non-real or not real, then we have a only existent relationship to the universe. Yeah, so we say it's an empirical reality. It is an apparent reality, empirical reality, changing reality. All that we can say. Yeah, the ultimate reality is myself. Yes. Yeah.
One day, how is to like everyone meditation?
Yeah, you have to study more. The more you study, the less in the jiva mode you are. More study, less jiva. More Vedanta, let there be more Vedanta. Let there be more Ishvara. More Vedanta in my life, more objectivity. More objectivity, more happiness, more calmness, more letting go. So one more way is to just let go. All the things that we just completely keep on obsessing about are really not important. Anything that you think is important is not important, really. That's what we have to see. Other questions?
Thank you so much for saying the first thought is talked about some of the
How do you distinguish between Brahman and Ishvara? That's why I said this being the manifest universe, The only form of Brahman we can relate to is Ishvara. What is Ishvara? Ishvara is Brahman with power. That is Ishvara. What is Jiva? Ishvara without power. Yeah, Brahman without power is Brahman with endowed with ignorance is Jiva. It's an as though, it's all as though. Ishvaratvam mithya. Ishvara is not mithya. Ishvaratvam is a superimposed as though status upon that reality which is free of Ishvarahood, Ishvaraness. Jivahood, Jivaness is an as though superimposition upon that reality which is free of Jivahood, Jivaness. All that is there is that Chidananda, which is me, which is Ishvara, which is same. Yeah. Yes. I didn't hear you. Yeah. Yes. No, that's only relatively speaking. Thoughts are just thoughts. So, but at the same time, what we call negative thoughts are inimical to me. They are hurting me. That's those are the thoughts which one, let's go. When those thoughts kind of keep on going in the head, you have to be able to push that aside. First, first you have to fill it up with sattvic impressions. Then after that, you let go of that also. It's just thoughts. This is all from the standpoint of ultimate reality, which transcends everything. Relatively speaking, we can't say, so what if I have negative thought? Let me continue to have negative thought. Let me continue to have difficult thoughts. If I say this, then what will happen? And then I will be miserable. Everybody else also, I will make miserable. So we can't confuse the relative and the absolute. The relative has no basis other than the absolute. The karya, the effect, is non-separate from the cause, but the cause transcends effect. So cause did not become effect. Cause is cause, effect is cause. This is very, very interesting Vedantic way of thinking. Other thoughts? Questions? Yes.
In Vedanta, we have the algae, of thought and the group and the.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, I can explain why, quote unquote, I understand it. So, how is it?
That there is one thing which is the cause of everything. And knowing that one thing is not separate from yourself, you are released from sorrow. This is Pramana Vichar, really. Because it's not something that is proven. You are the proof. That Vedanta works, you are the proof. Vedanta does not require any proof. It is a means of knowing. You can't be, for example, you can't be sitting with your eyes open, looking at something and saying, tell me, how do you prove that my eyes see? They don't see it. Seeing is the proof. And so here also, it's very difficult to see Vedanta as a means of knowledge, as a means of knowing. And for that, we require Shraddha. We require to a trust pending understanding. We require a little bit more to cultivate that trust. Just like going to the gym one day will not do anything. You come out and see there are no muscles at all. And then you go another day, you go third day, fourth day. After 1 month, with great difficulty, you will have a small piece of muscle, like the crescent moon, tiny little. Next, you're so happy, and the next week you get a fever, some respiratory fever, flu, That also, that's why it's called flew, because what flew was the little muscle. It flew. Vedanta is like that. Bar, bar, लगातार, you have to keep listening. You have to keep uh, seeing the truth. And the truth of this analogy, pot and clay, shows us that there is one thing in the universe non-separate from you, which is yourself. You are the truth of the universe. You have to take this and seeing this as the reality, live the life accordingly. Does that make sense? Usually, what we do, we take the what is seen, the subjective world as the reality, and then lead the life according to it. But here we take this to be the reality, the pramana to be the reality, and lead your life accordingly. It's a very different understanding. Everything to be seen as Sat is difficult. That's why we say see everything as Ishvara. And there's one question online: what's the difference between Ishvara and Ishvaratvam? Ishvaratvam is the status of Brahman manifesting as Ishvara is called Ishvaratvam. That is a superimposition as though upon that Brahman which is free of that superimposition. Jivatvam, Jivahood is another superimposition upon that Brahman which is free of Jivaness, Jivahood. All we have is Brahman. Brahman plus all knowledge is called Ishvara. Brahman plus all ignorance, Jiva. Brahman plus no complaints, Ishvara. Brahman plus double helping of complaints, Jiva. Yes. Right. Right. How you handle the desire? You let them, you manage. If they become really addictive, you let them go. You don't let them manage you. You manage. Does that make sense? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It as though confuses. That's why if you are strong in the knowledge, you will not become sad with them. They will become happy because they are with you. That change will happen. Okay. Do we want a photo together? A little bit? Oh, that's it. People can stand here. We can remove this table. People can stand or sit here. Oh, Namah Shivaya. Thank you.